Hello, this is Audio Discourse. Yes, Odd Rocker here. Thought I would come and comment about a debate that recently happened between Tariq Nasheed and another person by the name of Jenicia Garcia. I usually don't try to chime in on debates, at least lately I haven't, but I thought this was something that I would actually talk about. Um, I had a problem with what Jenicia said when she talked about um, blackness being looked at as a scab. Black Americans do not look at their blackness as a scab. She made the comment, well, people can just pick about it and you're just being hypersensitive. You know what? Our situation here is a hypersensitive situation. And me as a person, I'll tell you this. I'm very sensitive when it comes to anyone's struggle. And I think anyone should talk about that struggle no matter what. And I think it's very disingenuous of her saying things about us when it comes to that. Basically, not wanting us to say anything when it comes to talking about our struggle or things that go against us as a people. Picking at a scab? No, it's not picking at a scab at all. It's just basically calling cats out. It's the same way a lot of the Ashkenazi Jews do when people wrong them, and they'll use the terms like anti-Semitic and all that stuff. I think it's good that we call people out. And yes, we will use the term anti-black because it's specific racism. If you want to look at this particular chart, this is actually the tenets of what racism basically stands on. It's usually whites on the top, all the brown and mixed people in the middle, and indigenous people as well. And then black people are on the bottom. And everyone even has played into that too. So we're going to say anti-black racism. It's not just general racism when we talk about it. Because we know the pyramid, the casta system, which actually started in Spain, is built off of that. So, she talks about being hypersensitive, but yet she gets really upset when, things are made as far as the comments about Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. Now, granted, I'm not going to make a comment about anybody else's race or ethnic background. I'm like this, dude. Don't say things that, if you're going to say something, make sure that you know what you're talking about. Be respectful. For me, I'm like this. She made the mistake of not only basically, like sensitive shaming people, but also getting our whole history wrong. Black Americans have fought. We haven't just marched, we've actually literally fought in this nation and outside of this nation. Whether it be not only with the wars that went on with America, but also against certain things that America has done against us. We literally have fought against those things. And for her to talk about all we do is march and then mock a lot of our protest, that's just evil right there, dude. And I'm not saying, I have a lot of friends from Latin America and Latin places, let alone Afro-Latinos, that are not on the same page when it comes to them looking at blackness as something, as I'm speaking primarily for my Afro-Latino friends. They don't see themselves as non-black. They know what they are, and they also respect Black Americans for what they've done with the struggle. With her, it's like she's jumping back and forth, and I'm not trying to dog her, but it's just like, dude, really? She'll say that she's not black, and then, like on that interview, she did this. She'll say that she's not black, and then she'll say that she's black. Then she'll kind of clown Black American people, then pretend as if she's an advocate for black women, and but then at the same time, kind of like low-key diss black women by saying black men are always on her. I don't know. Like, that to me is not consistent. I don't know her as a person. And maybe she meant something well by saying, well, don't let people pick at your scab. Blackness is not a scab. Racism is the scab. And if you hear any complaints about that, that's exactly what it is. It has nothing to do with us looking down at what we were born with. It has everything to do with us being persecuted because of how we were born. And just for anyone to tell you that, you're too sensitive if somebody's making fun of your being or disparaging or weaponizing against your being, forget them, dude. That's silly. I do agree with her on one thing that I have to disagree with Tariq about. Black Americans have dealt with a level of colorism. We've dealt with that in our community. And yes, there's people that look like her in our community that will, and even people that don't look like her, that look more like me, that will basically say that they're native before or Indian before they say that they're black or anything like that. That's happened. But at the same time, there is a difference between that, because in most cases, that same person will just say that they're black right away too. I know it's kind of weird, but they wouldn't deny and say that they were an English person because they speak English. So there's a whole lot of things with this. And I think personally, she doesn't know anything about Black American history. And two, even the people that she praised, they were inspired by like a lot of black revolutionaries, the young lords. Felipe Luciano was in The Last Poets, and he was a young lord. He was inspired by the Black Panthers. That's how the young lords formed, and they were in lockstep with them too. Even the women that she mentioned, like that one chick, I mean, dude, she's with Angela Davis. All those Afro-Latin revolutionaries, and even the ones that weren't, were influenced by the Black Panthers. The Brown Berets, who are pretty much Mexican Americans, they're out here on the West Coast. They said that they were inspired by the Black Panthers a lot, and they're still cool with a lot of the older Panthers too. So for her to say that we ain't did nothing, she's contradicted herself big time, because she's quoting people that actually said that they were inspired by our standing up against white supremacy. Anyway, I mean, I don't say this to dog her. She did make some interesting points that I agreed with, but a lot of points she made that I disagreed with. Black Americans do deal with colorism, and a lot of other things, but at the same time, we're not confused about us being black. But we do not wear our blackness as a scab. Racism is the one that made these scab. We have no scabs, but racism is, and the effects of racism is the scab that we are dealing with today. So I just thought I would give my opinions. Another thing I would like for you guys to check out, the Radical Latino. He's an Afro-Latino guy that I follow on here. Really cool cat. Shoot, I might do this video again because I think I kind of just went off my thoughts. Hopefully you guys won't be confused about what I'm saying. But yeah, I just disagree with her. Whether she had good intentions or not, to kind of encourage us to not let people, shame us, it wasn't executed in the best way, And I think she has a lot of ignorance when it comes to Black Americans and our struggle. All right, you guys. Peace.